I don't know why I always have let drawing banners intimidate me, but I'm gonna break it down how I've mastered it so you can master it too, because like we don't need to get intimidated by it. We're just drawing a banner. So first we're gonna draw like 2 parentheses wherever you want to put the first line of your word or phrase. I'm gonna do a 3-word phrase, so I'm gonna do 3 different lines. Second word is a little bit smaller, so that's why my parentheses are like a little small here, and then the last word is a little bit larger, so it's larger. Then we are just connecting our lines, and ribbons are wavy, so like it doesn't matter if our line is straight. I know, it's gonna be okay. Same thing goes for the bottom. Then we're gonna repeat that for the other 2 lines, or the other 2 parenthesis boxes that I guess we're sort of making. I mean, they're sort of like round oval shapes, but yeah. And you don't have to get, like, don't think about it too much, because like how many times have you seen a ribbon and it is like flowing correctly? It never flows correctly. Okay, so for the top part, we're drawing a little like squiggly line. That's the official artist term for it. And then for the bottom, we're gonna draw a squiggly line the other way. So it's like a half of an S shape with just a squiggle. And then draw down for the top. Anytime you have that little turn point, you're just gonna draw a straight line down, and it looks like how the ribbon is all wrapped up around each other. Then you go to your second line. This is where I used to always mess up. I always would start from the top, start from the second line, and then draw a horizontal, a diagonal, that's the word I'm looking for. Draw a diagonal up. Then from the top down, draw a diagonal that is parallel. And we're gonna repeat it again. So again, we are from the bottom line, drawing a diagonal up to the second line, and then going to that corner and drawing a line diagonally down that is parallel with the first line. And because what we do at the top, we want to do at the bottom, but we're going up this time instead of down, so we are just drawing our lines up anytime there's a little curve in our ribbon. Beautiful. Now, I mean, I can't just draw a ribbon and like not put anything around it. So here I am simply sketching out some flowers. You can use any flower shapes that you want. I, of course, oh yeah, I guess I should introduce who I am. I'm Theresa. Hi, I'm from the design team. Hi, I'm obsessed with Peggy Dean. Hi. Peggy's botanical line drawing book has a ton of examples on any sort of flower that you want to incorporate on your banner ribbon that you are making. But honestly, I'm not thinking about it too much, and I'm just drawing what makes my heart happy, because it makes my heart happy. And then I'm layering. I want to make sure that there's some stuff that's tucked above the ribbon and below the ribbon. I try and have about 3 of each flower and about 3 to 4 different types of flowers. Then I'll add in some leaves and greenery. And you'll see that I really just have 3 shapes that I'm making my flowers, right? One's like a circle oval shape. One is like a triangle with like a wavy top. And then this one is like, I don't know, 2 C curves close together. It's like right next to each other where the tips meet and the bottoms don't. And that's it. I'm not worried about the detail because I'm gonna add that in once I use my pen. Oh yeah, we're gonna need some Pigeon Letters monoline studio pens for this because they are the absolute best for doing any sort of line work. There's a slight tip. There's not a slight tip in the tip. That makes no sense. There is a slight curve on the tip, And it makes it so that you can hold your pen how a normal person holds their pen, because other pens are designed for architects and engineers, and they hold their pens different because they have different techniques that they use. And another thing that I love about the Pigeon monoline pens is it comes in a set, so you have all of the sizes that you need. It has a small, medium, and I guess large, but it's not even that large. Tips so then we can add in some super fun detail, and I'm going to walk you through how I did that in this piece. And another thing that is super fun about the pens are that they're waterproof. So if I was sketching this on waterproof paper, nope, if I was sketching this on watercolor paper, there we go, I could go on top of it and paint it, which, hello, who doesn't want to do that? And I also really appreciate that you can sketch underneath it like we're doing right now and erase the lines and the ink doesn't fade. Okay, so I am lettering Embrace Your Uniqueness. The reason why I am lettering this saying today is because it's really important to me. Peggy really helped me embrace stepping into my own uniqueness. I was told time and time again that I couldn't teach hand lettering courses. My stuff wasn't quote unquote good enough. Really defeated. And I let those words, and I still let those words impact me today and still tell me that I'm not good enough. But then I remember that when I show up as authentically me and with all my quirks and weirdness, it's one, when I'm the most happy, two, you learn the most from me, and three, I mean, it would be kind of boring if everyone looked like a fawn. So we're embracing our uniqueness. So I'm just demonstrating here how I make some block letters. I just print my letters and then outline them. It's how I've been making block letters since the early days, the late 1900s. And then I'm just hand lettering in cursive, your, and then the last word is uniqueness. In order for me to make sure that I am putting the word where it needs to be on the line, I start with the last letter and then the first letter, and I'll go back and forth until it meets in the middle. Now, for outlining, I am using my size 3 pigeon letter brush, and I'm going to be honest, my hand shakes. It's always shaken, and so instead of just going over a line once, I'll probably go over it a couple times to thicken the line, to add a little bit of definition, and to cover up the shakiness. It's just a little tiny trick that I use. I try not to go too overboard with the thickness, but I will warn you that it is very addicting to just sort of zone out and outline, because you've already done the hard work, right? We've done the draft. This is it. We're just outlining. It's just really nice. You just put on some good music and you outline. Now, I'm going to give you a couple tips for this part. I do short little lines back and forth to make it so that my lines stay straight, and it sort of leaves me with more control and take the pressure off. This is your friendly reminder to take the pressure off. We're having fun, we're outlining, and it's okay if it doesn't look perfect, because it's not supposed to look perfect. This is our unique art piece. Flowers in the garden aren't perfect. If you see a ribbon flowing in the wind, it flips and turns all sorts of ways, and you can never get it to stay straight. So just keep going over your lines and concentrate on that. Maybe allow the time that you're outlining to just be a spot where you just give yourself a little bit of space and a little bit of a break, and you take the pressure off and you say, this is it. I'm just having fun and making lines, and it's perfect. exactly how I'm doing it. You can see there are some parts where the flower petals were overlapping where the banner is, and I left those parts of the outline blank until I finished the flowers. Then I added it back in so it would get the look of that flower overlapping. For the letters, I'm using a size 5, and I'm just looking where the outline of those letters were. I didn't necessarily need to erase the pencil marks before I did this, but they were distracting me a little bit, so I did. Some cursive for your, and then for uniqueness, I think I'm going to go ahead and add some weight to the letters. Now, the term adding weight is just what we in the hand lettering world do to sort of mimic the look of calligraphy. And all you do is on every downstroke, you add a little bit of thickness to your letter. Now, watching this back, I realized that I forgot the downstroke on the N, but I did realize when I go back and color everything else in. So you'll see that. And it's really, I don't know, every time I do it, I always am saying the words up, down, up, down. Pick up your pen a lot. Then you can use your pen to add in that weight. But it also looks really fun when you leave the weight sort of open with that white space. It's hard to choose. You can't go wrong with either. In fact, okay, so I decided that this turned into a really fun coloring sheet, and I'm going to leave a download for you if you want to color it or if you want to trace it for your own inspiration. And I think I'm gonna leave the letters or the weight for the bottom line open so that you can color it in yourself. So now I am adding a little bit of detail to the flowers. Like I said, if you want information on how to do all of these floral extras, Peggy has a lot of great Skillshare classes and a lot of great books that walk you through exactly how to do this. So I'm just showing you really quickly so you can get some inspiration. But basically, I'm just using my size 1. I'm adding detail to the flowers, so the middle part of the flower, and then adding some lines so that it looks like those little flower veins, and it gives the flowers some movement. For the middle of this flower here, it's simply like upside down. Use horseshoe marks, whatever you want to call them. It's quite satisfying to layer them on top of each other and then to see the finished flower. And then I'm just adding some detail to the leaves. And then I decided I wanted the top line of letters to be a little bit bolder, so I added a little bit thicker of a background, or an outline, not background. So yeah, that is our completed project. I hope you follow along. I can't wait to see what sort of ribbon you create, and bonus points if you surround it by flowers, because like why wouldn't you want to surround it by flowers? Make sure you tag me, Theresa Haddo, and the pigeon letters so we can see your recreations. Don't forget to download your coloring sheet, my gift to you. I made it. It's so fun. And when you color that in, you need to tag us too, because like we, we like to see your stuff. Okay. Bye, friend. I'll be back soon. Get excited. I know I am.